Hi friends, and welcome to this lesson. Now in this lesson we have come to a point where we would now be constructing our message, general message rules. So let's look at emails and let's look at some messages that we can create using all these rules, which will teach us how to write effective mails. So the first rule of any communication, be it oral, be it written, be it an email, be it a letter, a report, anything, all communication needs to be accurate, it needs to be brief, and it needs to be clear. So accuracy, brevity, and clarity cannot be compromised. You can say this is the golden rule of communication: A, B, C: accuracy, brevity, and clarity. Friends, now let's see how we can build accuracy, how we can build brevity, and how we can build clarity. Now, you're supposed to have clarity when you know exactly what your purpose is, what your aim is, what your objective is. You're also supposed to have clarity when you know how to logically structure your message so that the recipient understands what you want the recipient to understand in the most precise and most convenient way, so that there is no ambiguity in the mind of the recipient about what you want to say and what you want the recipient to do. So these two things are very important. One is understanding of the message as well as taking action on the message. So if you are constructing the message, before your recipient is clear about the message, you will have to be clear about your own message. What is it exactly that you would like to convey? So once you are clear, then you would be able to create a communication that would make the message clear to the recipient along with the desired action. Now, friends, a lot of people feel it's very cool to use I wanna do this, I wanna do this. So gonna may sound cool, they may sound cool, whatever. They may sound whatever they sound like, but only in casual conversation. So please do not make them part of your language, part of your lingo, your writing lingo, or your speaking lingo when you are in business or in a situation which is formal, official. So please remember this: not to use gonna wanna, not to use be for you, see you in writing, see and you for see you or see ya soon. To be avoided, my dear friends. Abbreviations that are not in coinage for all communities, so which are not so well dispersed, which are not so well understood by a large multitude of people, need to be completely avoided. All important points need to be emphasized. Now, do not write everything using the left alignment only. You can indent some things to give them more importance, to stress their importance. You can create a bulleted list. All this improves the readability quotient of your email. If you have paragraphs, have small paragraphs. Now, this is not a textbook somebody is reading. This is something which is an official communication that you've sent to someone and there are going to be points in it. So break it into small paragraphs and let there be space between each paragraph. So don't make the mail so cluttered that it's difficult to, you know, look at it, and reading is not such a pleasure then. Whatever action you want your recipient to take, state that clearly. Don't feel shy. A lot of us feel very shy in asking for something or when we are giving the call to action. Please, you're not asking someone to do something illegal. If you're asking someone to buy, yes, by all means. If you're asking someone to subscribe, yes, by all means. If you're asking someone to pay the bills that you have raised, by all means. What's wrong? If you're refusing somebody's claim, by all means. This is all part of legitimate business actions. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be scared of. Now, where does accuracy come from? So anything that is accurate would also be correct. And accuracy comes from exact statement of facts, figures. It comes from data. Now, whenever you are quoting any data, facts, or figures, make sure you have checked the authenticity, because your credibility depends on authenticity and accuracy of facts, figures, and data that you quote. So, when you put things there precisely, then the whole thing becomes crystal clear to the audience. The audience is able to, the recipient is able to see what you can see. So you have to build in accuracy through facts, through figures, and through data. Now let's come to brevity. Friends, nobody in the world has got unlimited time these days. All of us are pressed for time. All of us are trying to, walk that tightrope between work and life to get the balance between the two. So, if you have repetitions, if you have long-winded construction, if you have, unnecessary expressions, redundant expressions which you can actually chop off or edit out and which do not add anything to the meaning, it only makes the message less brief, less precise, longer, and more difficult to understand. So it's not that writing a heavy mail or a longer message makes the person feel that you are very literate or you're very knowledgeable. It's not that. A very nicely stated, accurate, precise, brief message will get you the action faster than a long winded, unclear message not having necessary details. So, in trying to be brief, do not sacrifice completeness. The message should be complete in all respects and it should not be unnecessarily long. Things that can be avoided need to be avoided, and things that are necessary need to be there in your message. Now, clarity. So, my dear friends, the moment I have clarity about what I want to express in my message, the moment I am able to logically state my message with the required background, with the required discussion, and with the required future action or call to action, I know the message has become clear. If all that I am saying is backed with facts, with figures, with data, my message becomes clearer. My message becomes more authentic. My message becomes accurate. So, my dear friends, if you have accuracy and brevity, then clarity will automatically come in your message. So, use of direct speech, unambiguous expressions, and precise terminology create clarity. So, first, clarity has to be there in your mind, then, clarity has to be there in your thought, and then, when you construct your thought, you do it logically. You use clear words and expressions, you use facts, figures, and data. That's it. You can never go wrong. Now, we have clarity in our mind, we have accuracy through facts, figures, etc. And then we don't lay out our message very well. Our email is not formatted well. We are not using the right kind of font, readability is not there. We are not using the right font size. We are using all caps. The whole message is in red and all that. All that has to be avoided. So the layout of the message has to be pleasing and it has to be readable. So let your layout be a delight for the recipient. Small paragraphs, bullet points where required, adequate use of indents, and some white spaces would make the message more readable. Use of proper font sizes, we've already discussed, and readable fonts enhance the readability. So, if you are able to build all this into your message is going to become an effective message. So, my dear friends, I hope you are enjoying the course. Thank you very much for watching this lesson. I'll see you in the next. Until then, all the best.